So now we move on to the most important part for me, because when you get in touch on this level, then literally your life becomes like you're living life on steroids. And you don't even realize it. That's the thing, it's effortless. So I'm really pleased. You know, today's for me has been an amazing day. An amazing day. You are all family. I've met some people who I've only known for a short period of time, but you found yourself here today. Means that it's not by coincidence that we're here. Yeah. And so if life has brought us here, then the question that you need to be asking yourself is, why? What is it that I'm supposed to gain? What is it I'm supposed to learn? What is the seed that is being planted in the soil of your mind, which you are now going to leave this place and continue to water and nurture? So as important as for me this day, it's also an important day for each and every one of you, if you care. If you care about you. And I know that we all do. So without any further ado, it's my privilege and honor to invite, and I think we're sharing out some handouts. He was even up till late last night printing and working for you. This is the kind of passion that this man has, and it's difficult keeping up with him. But please put your hands together for my pup's brother Ishmael, Tetteh.
You meet very few great men on the planet. We are having one of such great planet by name Tony DADA, Tony Abiola DADA. Please give him some love for me. Good morning, everyone. It's always morning in God's neighborhood. The sun never sets when it comes to God consciousness. There's no rising sun and falling sun. There is always the presence of light. To remember we are divine. I thank you all so much for your yes in being here in this program, and particularly thanking my own son, because when I see what he is doing, the great good he is doing, my words will be, carry on, son, you're doing great. You know, fathers are never satisfied. However high your son is, you know he can go to the next level. Parents, that's what we are. So when sometimes I want to lash at him and say, you have greater potential, carry on, go higher, because yes, there are great teachers and speakers on the planet, but when it comes to people who know the truth, they live it, and they are doing it for the sake of humanity, not just for the money. Because I've met some of the great teachers and they're wondering why I'm not marketing material in such a way that by this time I should be a billionaire. Yes, if money were everything, I would not have folded up my vibrant computer company in '96 so I can travel the world and teach. I was having the third largest computer company in the country, Ghana. Those of you who have been to Ghana or lived in Ghana, you remember the company called Oakfield Computers. That was my company. That was my last company of the 3 companies I've set up in my life. Running my ministry and my business side by side. So I'm the founder leader of Ethereum Mission. We are dedicated to spiritual enlightenment, awakening the soul to its divinity, awakening humanity to their divinity. I'm also the director of Conscious Humanity, which is a very powerful center in the United States that carries my work, the work of Ethereum Mission, to the international community. If you've been following me on Facebook, You'll realize that recently there's been a lot of noise on Facebook about the teachings I'm carrying out in the United States. I just finished a US tour, and I am here. So Conscious Humanity carries my work and the work of Ethereum Mission to the international community. My name is Brother Ishmael Nyaku Oblete Tetteh. I am a universal citizen. I come from Africa. Nature is my teacher. The spirituality of life is in nature. Whatever there is out there, if it is of any value, it must work in harmony with nature. Else everything else will just produce temporary palliative results, and you return to the pain or you return to the issue. The topic that I'm to address with all of us this evening is soul, the soul awareness. The need for you to be aware of the soul. Because when you are aware of the soul, that is life awareness. Soul awareness is life awareness. And it's interesting that many of us take ourselves for granted. I'm really happy all the speakers and presenters are really wonderful. Can you give them some love for me? And all of them have spoken portions of me, and I'm really grateful. Maybe many of you do not know that I even have a hospital coming up. The hospital is operating in Ghana now on 3 floors. The ground floor is natural medicine, where we use herbs, moringa, all of them. And then we have the Western medicine. That has not started. We have the hospital beds and some few equipment, but that requires more capital. Then the third floor is spiritual medicine. So combining natural medicine, Western medicine, spiritual medicine in one big hospital building. We are operating the natural medicine now because I've been operating that from childhood. Right, so we have great wealth of herbal knowledge and some magical things with herbs that defies medicine or science. So we decided to have the Western medicine to prove some of these things to the world. That's why we are building the hospital. So let us get into the story of the soul, so we understand what the soul is. Because for most of us, we just chasing wealth, and wealth is not in material things. Wealth is a state of consciousness. You are not a locomotive machine that eats. You get fuel, and then you just run, exhaust, feed yourself, time comes, then you die. We are not such locomotive machines. Now, I want somebody to do this. Can you do this? Without your spirit, can you do this? Can the dead do what you are doing? Thank you. So that tells you that you are more than just a locomotive body machine that receives carbon food into your body, because all the carbohydrate we eat has a lot of carbon energy in it. We just eat and then we carry on, mate, sleep, and die. That is not the life. We need to realize that life is wealthy. Life itself, the life you are living itself, is wealthy. So if you don't experience the wealth you are, chasing wealth outside you is like a huge mistake. So until you find the wealth you are, you cannot even experience the wealth outside. Soul magnetism taps into the potential field of the universe. People want wealth. And I always tell them that for you to want wealth or to have wealth, first question, how do you know what you want is what you want? How do you know what you want is what you want? Many of us, we take ourselves for granted. And I heard something that really gratified me, that budget for self-development. How many people budget to have time, to make time, energy, space, money, and saying this amount, this 20% of my income every month will go into who and what I am as a soul, as a spirit. We'll soon define what soul and spirit is. But we take ourselves for granted. Let's take a look at it. If you don't budget for your soul, then you are taking you for granted. Because when you were in the womb, you were developing the organs for a system for the next life. You died to the placenta life, and then you were born to the human life that you developed in the womb. When we die to the human life, what goes out? What goes out? What goes out is what we are to develop here. Am I right? What came out of the womb is what you develop there. What goes out is what you are to develop here. And are you investing in developing what goes out? Do you know what you are that even goes out? Do you know what you are that even makes the body move? So that's why it's important that we give attention to what we are as a soul. So we experience fulfilled soul. Fulfilled soul is real wealth. And when you have soul magnetism, it attracts everything for you. So we have to give attention to ourselves. Ask yourself, what energy am I exuding? What am I? What am I exuding? When you know what you are exuding, the vibrations that come out of you will connect you to the potential field in the universe to have what you want. It's waste of time focusing so much of, I want this, I want that. Focus more on, what am I? Because when you exude what you are will attract what you want. And that will give you true inner riches. Because he's not rich who has the whole world. He is rich who is really wealthy in his soul. When you are wealthy with the rich qualities of a care, I'm a caring spirit, I'm a kind person, I'm a counseling person, when you can really feel fulfilled within, because everything you want is to bring you to an inner fulfillment. Am I right? I want a pretty nice, wise wife, like my better all. By the way, she's here with me, my beloved wife. Please stand. Right. So I want to have a pretty nice, wise wife so that I can feel good. I want to eat good food so I can feel good. Feeling is spiritual, isn't it? Can you see it? You can see it's feeling. You can't touch it, but when it expresses, you see it. So everything you want is to bring you to an inner fulfillment. And when you don't know that inner, then you never know when even it is fulfilled. You don't know what that inner wants to be fulfilled. So true wealth is inner fulfillment. And I will therefore encourage everybody to empty your pockets into your mind, then surrender your mind into your spirit. Your spirit will feed your mind, and your mind will enrich your pocket to get every resource you want. Simply put, budget for your spirituality. Budget for you. And that will help you to ignite the possibility in you. Because the universe is a possibility. The universe is a possibility in manifestation. It's okay sometimes when you feel like you don't have faith. It's okay sometimes when you feel like you have low self-value. We have some tools to help you. When you feel like you have low self-value, you don't believe in yourself, somebody say, I don't have faith. I didn't hear it. I am of no value. I have the faith the universe had in himself for creating me. Is that a bigger one? If you don't have faith in yourself, tell yourself it's okay. If you don't believe in yourself, say it's okay. But I have the faith the universe has in itself for creating me. That is a bigger cosmic faith. So this process alone will take you out of the picture and bring the universal cosmic faith to begin to happen through you. So you are waking to the realization that I am cosmic faith in action. You are what? Is it true? You are cosmic faith in action. You didn't bring you here. But if you don't awaken to this soul truth of you, and what you are hearing, you can see it in nature, can't you? That you are cosmic faith in action. Every inventor believes in his invention before he invents it. So somebody say, life believes in me before I was born. Is it true? So what are you? I am the belief of life in action. What are you? That's strong, yes? We don't call that affirmation. We call that declaration. Declarations are much more powerful than affirmations. Affirmations are positive things you say, hoping they will happen. And it's better to affirm positively than to worry. So good affirmations, meditating on powerful affirmations are really useful. But when you come to our level, we'll take you to the next level beyond affirmations. We call it declarations. Declarations always come with cosmic truth. truths that are verifiable in nature. So everything I'm saying, you know it now in nature, that is so. So I'm costing faith in action. And when you ignite such possibilities in you, then it makes you rich in mind, feeling, and body. Because having all of the material wealth, for example, without health, wealth minus health is equal to inheritance. Isn't it so? When you have all the wealth and you don't have health, it means you're about to die for somebody to inherit. So I'm really grateful for this package. And somebody give a loud clap offering to Tony DADA for me. Combining mind, body, soul. So you are holistic. So you are totally holistic. And when we really break it down in a Ethereum mission, it goes into your, what we call the 5 life quests. Your 5 life quests, or the 5 regions of your life. Everybody, you are a spiritual being. You have deep desire to know what you are as spirit and to relate with the power in the universe that we choose to call God. The creative love intelligence we feel in the universe. It's in the atom. We choose to call it God. Ultimate reality. Call it by whatever name, it remains the same. By whatever name you call the rose flower, it will give you the same fragrance. Often we call it by different names, and then we quarrel and hate one another by the different names we give to the same God. Onyami, Nyongbo, God, Allah, Brahma. Then we quarrel over the names instead of the reality. Ethereum mission gives you unified consciousness. So I'm really grateful that we're having a program like this that is combining mind, spirit, and body. So we all have spiritual quests. You also have social quests. You want to relate with people, your families, your children, your workmates. It's a real strong, passionate drive. When you have my book called Essential Life Education, it teaches you all about that. I'm happy to note that that book is now being used in the University of Malawi, in the College of Allied Science and Medicine. And they are working on the whole university adopting it as a prerequisite for the university. I'm really grateful. The book simply teaches you about relationship, how to discover you so you can relate well with you, and then you know how you operate so you can know how others operate so you can cooperate. Then we all have a physical drive. We want to be healthy and beautiful, so you spend hours putting on your lipstick, isn't it? It is that drive. You want to feel healthy, and we have health practitioners here to help you. And then we all have psychological drive. You want to enjoy your thoughts and your feelings inside you. Even your quiet times, when nobody sees you, you want to feel good with you, isn't it? And that is right inside. That's a psychological drive. And finally, we have what we call financial drive. You want to offer service and make money. These are the 5 life drives. And when you employ the whole world to make all the money for you, all the money you've made will employ you to work for the whole world. We are in life for service, serving one another. And whatever you are seeking to do, the primary drive of every job, every entrepreneurship, whatever you do, the primary quest or the primary goal is to serve humanity. Have you observed that? You want to bring something into humanity. That is what fulfills you. That's why it's important that we know who and what the soul is. So we need to be giving attention more to thinking of what we are instead of what we have or should have. What do we have? What should I have? Because most of the time, the things you want are the things society wants of you. When you are a doctor, then I'll be respected. When I have the Rolls Royce, I'll be respected. So when you have the Rolls Royce, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the society you have really bought it for. Isn't it? It wouldn't fulfill you. So everything we have, we need to ask, who and what am I? What you are will enable you to know what you truly want. Because what you are will move you to what you want. Else, you don't know what you want. And if what you want is to please society, when you get it, it is pleasing society, it's no more yours. You keep wanting something else. When I get the latest hi-fi, I'll be happy, isn't it? Oh, no. You get it 2 weeks after you forget. And you keep getting. Something is seriously missing. So we need to give attention more to what we are. And what you are is that you are a soul. When I even use the word, the definite article, I always say it's wrong. But let me use it for these purposes. You are a soul. You are soul. Because soul is actually not an entity. It's a combination of billions of cosmic energies. You are not a person. You are a bundle of cosmic energies. And the soul body is constituted of these. The spirit is the pure essence of you. I did a short experiment moments ago when somebody asked a question. Because some of you were not here, I'll do the same session once again, briefly, for you to get the picture. So spirit is your true nature, your essence, pure, unconditioned. It is the breath of I am, the breath of the universe. It is the intention, ideation of the universe projected into being. It is the field of infinite possibilities. For spirit to express itself, it must take on some garments that will enable it to express itself. To express in water, you need a diving suit. To express certain soul qualities, you need this physical body. But before it can take on the physical body, it has to take on a mental body. Do you think? Then somebody say, I have a mental body. So you think in your mental body. Do you feel? Somebody say, I have a feeling body. So you feel in your feeling body, or the emotional body, as it is sometimes called. So when spirit takes on any of these, such as the mental, the emotional, and the physical, then it is called a soul. Those of you involved with scripture, that's why you say, and God breathed into the clay and became a living soul. In other words, the breath of God, the breath of life is spirit. And when it is now involved in the clay, in mind, feeling, and body, which are denser spiritual forces, then it is called a soul. And we are here as spirits for the development and creation of our souls. Spirit has infinite abilities, and it needs the soul to break out these infinite abilities so it can really experience its own self. This is just the nature of spirit. Coming from nothingness, our elders say that sum yesum mumodunni, meaning spirit is darkness. So from the nothingness, spirit emerges and then it breaks out into the spectrum of its colors, where the colors speak of the love, the joy, the peace, the wisdom, the creativity, the goodness that you are. So that is just, then you are to what? Expand this. To continue to expand these God qualities that you are. That's why you've come here. So this is the duty of the soul. It is simply here to break out the spectrum of its infinite capabilities, possibilities. This be expressed as you being a scientist, a medical doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an artist, a philosopher. But beyond all of this, it is to fulfill some innate qualities, to fulfill the love qualities you are, the evolutionary creativity and intelligence that you are. When we say creativity, we mean, can somebody here dance? Can you dance? Can you sing? Somebody say, I'm a creative being. Have you been caring before? Anybody? Kind to somebody? Somebody say, I'm a loving spirit. These are all shades of love. And then intelligence, when you were smart, you counsel somebody, you advise somebody, these are shades of intelligence. So each of these trinity, we are all constituted of these three trinity. And that's why scripture will tell you, go and multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it. It's not talking about having children. Created in the spiritual image of life, we are here to multiply the love. Multiply the love. Tell somebody, multiply the love. Multiply the joy. Tony is doing this by bringing us together to multiply the love, multiply the joy. So we are here to express these qualities. In between the spirit and the body, therefore, as you can see, is the mind. And that's why I would like to give some clear differentiations here. Because many people, when they talk about the mind, they always point to the brain. The brain is in the skull of the head. It is not the mind. On the left side of the screen, what you are seeing is to demonstrate that the mind starts from you and expands to the infinite universe. Could you remember the food you ate last Sunday? Can anybody remember? You see, minds have started traveling. Now, who can remember the food you ate last Sunday? Who can remember? Any hand? Okay, I can see one hand now. Minds are now traveling. Who has reached there? Who has reached? Okay, mind has traveled, has reached there. Okay, minds are now traveling. You see, so mind even what? Travels. But the brain is in the skull of the head. The brain hasn't gone to Sunday. The mind has gone to last Sunday. So the mind is not limited to the skull of the head. You know, the mind serves like a radio transmitting and receiving station. It's always receiving information, processing the information, and transmitting information. Let's have some examples. Have you picked up the phone to call a friend, and as soon as you picked it, you got a call from the friend? Has it happened to anybody before? Oh, almost all hands. You may call it telepathy. So telepathy is real. It's real in that the friend was thinking about you, so the friend was transmitting some information. And when you were in radio resonance with the friend, you picked the friend's thought. So you thought of calling the friend. And just as you thought of it, the friend had called you first. Only the friend's fingers were faster than yours. So again, that tells us that the mind is not limited to the brain. So you were in that moment operating as transmitting and receiving station. And we are doing that all the time. So just like you have the electrical substation that you see in the middle there, the mind is also wired to the brain. It has got correlation, but not limited. That's why science has been baffled when sometimes a person is without brain, yet the person is functioning. And they wonder, how could that be? We have had these freaks, they call it in medicine or science. But all these go to prove to us that we need to know our soul and we need to know the mind. You know, let's give attention to the anatomy of the mind. It's very strange that as previous speakers have spoken, and my own son has spoken, my son Tony, we go through life and what is important, we don't give attention to it. In this country, I know you need license to own a dog, but you don't need license to have a child. Yes? And nobody gives attention to in what way do we raise our children. So today, parenting is experimenting. There's no preparation. How about when you're going for your medical care before you give birth, there's some type of a 1 hour school that mandatory you have to take before you give birth to your child. At least 1 hour, 6 times. Some 6-hour education. We need more than that. But it looks like nobody is thinking in the right direction. What is important, no one cares. From conception, through birth, and long after you are dead, you will be relating with life. But there's no education on relationship. For you to know who and what you are, in your gender as a male-female being, in your persona as a spiritual being, in your senses as a communicative being. If you don't know these 3 things, who you are in your gender, persona, and senses, they form your GPS that navigates you in life. If you don't know it, sorry,